So give us an update on sort of the mix, the percentage of digital VOD out of the broadcast budget, where that stands now, how you make those decisions, and how that's developing.
So at the moment with GroupM, as I touched on earlier, we're looking to spend at least a minimum of around 6% of our clients' budgets into pre-roll. That can vary, we can push it up to around 10% depending on the client and the audience. But we think that's a reasonable level of investment to make sure that you're actually getting the best out of the opportunity. There's obviously always going to be different conversations with different clients. We have some clients that are quite reticent about using VOD, others that are spending far more than 10%. So it's really based on the client themselves and their understanding and sort of how they embrace pre-roll at the moment in the UK.
And could you explain a little bit more about ad load and pre-roll, like 15 versus 30, video that's inserted into longer form full episodes, and also perhaps how it might vary, as we heard from Simon, across devices?
Okay, so I think probably we're focusing a lot on, how is the experience across different platforms, and you're sort of talking about ad load and the different time lengths that we're using. 90% of the clients in the UK are using their TV copy, so really a standard sort of 30-40 second campaign, and using that straight onto pre-roll across the broadcasters and different suppliers. There's a lot of conversation, a lot of research that 15 seconds is the best or most optimum time length on pre-roll. However, it really is encouraging to see that TV advertisers are using their TV copy and actually just enabling us to use VOD, because we don't want to have to then go back to them and say they have to change certain time lengths or make the process harder than it has to be. And then your point about sort of ad load, I think we're moving away from the fact that it's about the viewer again, it's about the content. It doesn't matter where they're watching this. Perhaps if it's too long, it is going to take away from the viewer's experience, but ultimately they've engaged and they're wanting to watch a specific programme. So hopefully, it's irrelevant across which platform and how long that is going to take. So hopefully it doesn't impinge too much on their experience.
And what do you think about the creativity or interactivity around pre-roll, around in-stream advertising? I mean, there's a lot going on now with interactivity and choices, opting out, and then there's also different flavors emerging. And I think you said here in the UK mostly they're just TV ads that are repositioned. It's much the same in the US. What do you think in terms of both creativity and interactivity should perhaps be brought to the medium if it's needed?
Yeah, I think it is needed. There's loads of scope, and that's not to say that broadcasters at the moment and other sort of publishers aren't working really hard to make different innovative areas and creative opportunities available. Everyone is working towards that because, again, it's another easier way, sort of easier route to sell into our clients for them to get involved. So, from 4OD data pieces to Sky Ad Smart pieces to Innovid, Brainiac that we touched on earlier, there's lots of opportunity there. And I think with clients, they understand TV, linear TV, they get it, they buy into it. And quite often there's a lot of clients that will be really happy to be creative on those different sort of TV stations. But actually, if we have the opportunity, we should really be making more of the creative opportunities on VOD to support it, because if we're buying it as one plan, why are we not able to look at being innovative across those different platforms?
Could you tell us about the new program coming out of Sky Ad Smart?
Sky Ad Smart.
Yeah, and what that might mean.
So it's not so much sort of a pre-roll element. It is actually more in sort of the addressable media remit that we were talking about. So it's giving the clients the opportunity to be very focused. So take an automotive client, an agency, looking at geo-targeting, looking at very specific core target audiences for them, which is, it's in its early stages. It's not launching until August, but there's lots of other different sort of pieces of research or projects being launched by different broadcasters, and Channel 4, ITV, 5, all of them are looking at different ways to improve that and to make addressable media really sort of focused for clients.
So let me just follow up on the addressable media part of it, and particularly as it relates to mobile. And I think whatever we hear is that mobile is exploding, not just through, tablets, through wireless connections, but also through, cellular just phones, that there's a huge explosion. But that the advertising is sort of behind that a little bit. In other words, in terms of the data that's available, the addressability, where it's pretty much standard on, or doable, you know, on the desktop, but on mobile it's not. Tell us a little bit about what you think, first of all, about Maxus, how you guys, and then Damien, and go down the line, about the challenge of mobile, addressing the mobile audience with video.
Yeah, definitely there are some technological challenges, but I think there's also overall for online video and also mobile video the challenge that it has to become part of the mindset also of TV media plans and also of TV planners. Because you know, we are talking about like different KPIs and different ways of planning, and all of this has to be integrated and has to be combined, because I see it in a way that if this is not part of the TV planners and the TV media plan, it's like a cook who knows very well how to prepare like starters and main courses, but doesn't know how to do, doesn't want to do desserts. So I see like this online video and online mobile video is like the part to really complement the whole TV media plan. And so we are pushing forward there and have already gone a long way with online video, and this will definitely also expand to mobile video and to be able to use all the target groups and target segments that we can address also in online video, also mobile. So we have to bring this all together.
Damien, how do you see that mobile video, the opportunity, the challenges? And I know we spoke to Stefan about Vidopia, some companies, and Videology is also doing some, is bought Collider, so they're doing targeted ads for publishers, but it's early on. Where do you think the industry is now, and where does it have to go?
I think the mobile industry for video, it has got a long way to go. I think we've educated our customers about all of the intricate targeting we can do via desktop, and there's some stuff we can't do on mobile. Obviously, you know, certain systems don't have cookies, so on and so forth. I think we're approaching it slightly in the wrong way. I think we need to be honest with our clients and say to them, there's certain areas you need to now look at. So geolocation is something which is pretty bespoke to mobile. We don't do enough of that, I don't think. We've got certain partnerships going on, but again, it's quite a young industry. Outside of that, it's quite context-based. And there are obviously issues. We don't have 4G across the country yet. And there's some operational issues, and seeing is believing sometimes. And our clients aren't necessarily, Tom's pointed a slightly different direction with his previous comments, watching as much long-form content on mobile as other areas. Hence why we're seeing a slight delay in catch-up.
Ruth, where do things stand with mobile video in the mix right now? What are the barriers, and where might it go?
I think, I mean, you know, to sort of echo Damien's points, we've said for a long time that this is the year of mobile, and it's never quite got there just yet. There's still a long way to go, and I think it's probably a case not just of the sort of the data aspects, but actually getting clients involved and sort of bedding down with the sort of areas that we know about, that we, you know, are confident with, that we can get their creative and their campaigns up and running. So sort of more a pre-roll across those different platforms than mobile as such at the moment. It's a harder sell right now to clients, I think.
Let's just go back to the branded business again. Bespoke content for the web, where does that stand with your agency, and what are you doing there?
So right now, we're always looking for opportunities to sort of set ourselves apart. I think with bespoke content, you know, we've got so many different clients that are really keen to get involved in this area, and that's not just bespoke content created for online, but actually for linear TV as well, where they can really sort of showcase what they're able to do. Projects-wise, we're looking at sort of lots of things with telecoms clients at the moment, and it's something that is certainly more of a focus on, because it's a great way for a client to be able to showcase exactly what they're capable of and the areas that they want to sort of you know, project.
Cool. And one last question. We talked about the second screen a little bit. What do you make of the second screen as a medium for your brands, and or where does that stand? Where might it go?
I think it's a great opportunity. I think it's something that is is sort of underutilised at the moment, or perhaps there's a sort of lag of understanding between agencies and clients and broadcasters. There still seems to be that sort of disconnect with trying to get clients involved with second screen. A lot of them will understand it, but be reticent, as I've touched on earlier, about how much they want to invest in it. So it's a case of just getting consistent research across all the different sort of agencies and parties, and making sure that we can deliver that back as a really coherent argument to clients.
Are you guys involved with second screen campaigns yet, or?
Yeah, I mean, we've got lots of different things going on, not just at Maxus, but as across sort of GroupM as well. So there's loads of things in the pipeline that we want to talk to broadcasters and suppliers about. It's just a case of getting those up and running and getting the research and sort of the case studies to back that up, to get clients involved as well, just to get them over that line.
Yeah, I mean, the second screen sort of cutting edge, where does it stand for the agency?
I think in the agency world at the moment, it's mainly used as a research mechanism to find out the effect of advertising, the effect of the various programs out there, rather than as an advertising platform itself. So, we've dabbled with the various the Shazams or your Z-Boxes out there. Obviously, not from a video front, but it's understanding the consumer's journey and adding to it. So can you make the TV spot extend it effectively on a second screen? And it's toe in the water time for us, being brutally honest at the moment. We're getting learnings back. We're not in the stage yet to throw a huge amount of revenue at it, because we don't know quite what it's doing, but we're working with our various partners to find exactly that out.